Okay, today we are going to be reacting to the Silksong drama explained. Now, since I'm a new player, I just started playing Hollow Knight. I have no idea about the drama surrounding the spin-off game or the sequel game, Silksong. The only thing I know, or I kind of gathered from, titles and stuff like that, is that it's been delayed for around 4 years now. Basically, they basically said it was going to come out in around 2020 or 2021. It's pretty much been delayed since then, and nobody really knows when it's going to come out. So hopefully, we'll get a better idea about this from this video, and I think it'll be really good. So let's just get right into it.
The Hollow Knight Silksong fandom has
And before anybody says, I will be pausing. So if you're not a fan of pausing, then go watch the video on your own. But I'm going to be pausing it and talking about different segments as I see fit. So let's just get into it.
gone through the most chaotic stretch of days in its history.
Is it
The
about
questions
Hornet?
that this video addresses are: what is everything that happened in the last few days?
Okay.
What do I
Few
think
days?
of it? What could Team Cherry do, and what could we do as a community going forward?
Okay.
If you don't
So
know
wait.
already, let me.
So wait, is this drama new? I thought the drama was that. Okay. Well, I figured the drama was surrounding the the delay basically, but it seems like there might be some new drama because he said the last couple of days this is not a super old video. Um, Catching up to speed. So I'm
Catch you up
using
to
it.
speed in under 2 minutes, real
okay.
quick, on what happened.
Under 2 minutes.
Timestamps for the video chapters are on screen,
What
by the way.
happened?
Let's go.
Okay.
William Palin from Team Cherry, the people who made Hollow Knight and are
Okay.
working on its sequel, Hollow Knight
So he's the
Silksong,
dev.
posted something cryptic a
Something
few days
big
ago.
is coming.
But
Keep your
something
eyes
big
closed.
coming soon. Hours later, the Switch 2 was announced. Every
Okay.
YouTuber covered the news. I didn't because I got sick after I got beaten
So
down too hard
it
by
wasn't
Magic the Gathering
Silksong,
deck solely
but it was
comprised
the
of
Twitch
squirrels.
or the
Please don't
Switch.
ask. It's besides the point. But anyway,
Interesting.
the community staff for Silksong News kept linking each part of the tweet and other aspects of the account to one date,
Sure.
April 2nd, the day of the Nintendo Direct that was announced hours later. Be it the cake, the picture.
Wait. Okay, I might be crazy, but this is William Pellin from Team Cherry's Twitter account. If you reverse image search the profile picture cake, you get a link for a recipe article posted on April 2nd in the same day as the newly announced Switch 2 Direct, Silksong incoming. So basically they made like an encrypted message of something might be coming, and then the Switch 2 got announced, and then people are now speculating that Silksong is going to be released on April 2nd, the same time as the Nintendo Direct.
Of which
In-
was first posted on the internet on April 2nd last year.
Is April 2nd the same day that the Switch 2 is coming? Are they gonna it's gonna come at the same time as as a double drop? That would be crazy.
Eyes closed.
That would
linked
really
to
be.
a song with the same name by one of the bands of all time, Imagine Dragons. Everything.
One of the bands of all time? Is he trying to say that Imagine Dragons is not good? One of the bands of all time. I'm not going to say he's wrong. Have y'all listened to that new Imagine Dragons in NLE Choppa song? It was really, really good until Imagine Dragons started singing. Then it just was really bad. But like the instrumental and the NLE part was like top tier, and then it like was really bottom tier when Imagine Dragons started singing.
Things seemed to lead to April 2nd, until
Okay.
it didn't. Leth, the marketing manager of Team Cherry, reached out to God Gamer and Hollow Knight YouTuber Fireborn, who then
Yep.
said the following, and I quote, Leth reached out to me to
confirm there was no Silksong ARG and that the changes to Williams' account and the tweets were a nothing burger. Apologize to have misled everyone. The cake was a lie. The hidden connections to the date were previously considered to be considered were previously considered to be considered. Am I the only one that's tripping on that? I'm messing up. An ARG. I don't know what an ARG is. Action roleplay game. I think that's an ARPG. Okay. So he just led people on for no reason, Why would he just lead people? Why would, if you're a game dev, why would you just randomly 4 years later just be like, yeah, I'm gonna lead these people on, thinking that the game's gonna drop? Like, why would
Confirmed
you
that there
do
was no
that?
Silksong
How do you ever
alternate
think that's a
reality
good
game,
idea?
and that the changes to William's account and the tweet were a nothing burger. Apologies to have misled everyone, the cake was a lie.
Is this
So
actual
what happened
footage?
then?
Do you actually
Well,
play
the
as
news
Hornet?
spread like wildfire, with some YouTubers deleting some of the videos regarding the situation, and others making dino chicken nuggets because, well, I hadn't eaten anything all day and the man's gotta eat. But that's also still besides the point. Anyway, the cake was a lie, and the Silksong fandom is somewhere between confused and in flames.
Well, yeah, because how do you what why would you think that it would be a good idea to lead on the fan base of like one of the most popular platformers and then just be like, "Oh yeah, I was joking," even though I was like leaving encrypted messages thinking that it was just like, how do you ever think that's a good idea? Like, what are you doing?
And some say the situation is funny, some say it's disrespectful to
It's
the
not
fans,
yeah, it's
some say
definitely
even
not, it's
Fireball
not funny. It
apology
just
was fake,
it
and
makes
some
no
say Fireball is
sense.
actually Mossback
Why
in
would
disguise, who's
you
actually William Pound's long lost brother. But conspiracies aside, it also doesn't stop there, because another few hours later, Leth did clarify that Silk
um so then Leo. Okay, so Griffin Mata must be another dev. I just want to know if the game is progressing in its development, or if the team has given up on the project. Please, I only need a yes, the game is real and someday it will release. Please, yes, the game is real, progressing, and will release. Okay, I'm gonna have a controversial take. As someone that's been a fan of games that have taken a long time, if it was stated to come out 4 years ago originally and it hasn't come out yet, we are in really bad territory. It's A, never coming out, or it's B, going to come out and be the worst thing possible. Like, it's going to be dog water bad, by the way. There's no game that's been delayed that much and come out and been like super good. They're always dog water when they come out because they never were able to get past the problems that made it get delayed in the first place. So the fact that it's been delayed so long and they're still not even giving a date on it, they're just saying that it's progressing and will release, like, those are bad signs for the future of Silksong. Like, that game is not going to be good, and I'll stand by that. I'll play it when it comes out, but I'm going to stand by the fact that that game will for sure be dog water, just based on past experiences with other games.
Silksong is still being made, and it is progressing, and it will release.
Yeah.
Another few hours later, Leth jumped onto Discord, answered some questions from fans with a nice bit of
Okay, he got on
transparency.
Discord.
For example, saying that he personally
I honestly don't know. The Switch 2 announcement was a surprise to me, even though I heard there were leaks happening. It wasn't, but it was still some impressive sleuthing skills by the fans. Like, y'all are way beyond those 2020 riddles now.
didn't know about the Switch 2 thing, and the April 2nd dates that went along with it. And again, saying that the game was progressing nicely. But all in all, the stuff covered in the Discord AMA was mildly interesting, but far from anything too noteworthy. So with all that out of the way, how do I interpret the situation? Where does the community go from here? Well, it's certainly confusing, because the connection to April 2nd didn't come from nowhere. The picture of the cake, the direct, Imagine Dragons, and Napoleon Bonaparte, and
Where I got the connection to Napoleon from, might have been a
some
hallucination.
other things that I'm currently forgetting, because it is currently 3:50 a.m. while I'm writing this part of the script. All these things do lead to April 2nd. And this could relate to Nintendo. It could relate to Silksong. It could have related to both. Or in the case of pure trolling, to neither. So let's for a second assume that it had something to do with the Nintendo Direct and Silksong probably being there. Why wouldn't William or Team Cherry just go out there and say it?
Yeah,
well, because they're likely under multiple NDAs, meaning that they can't just disclose any and all information regarding their contracts with Nintendo. Also, don't forget that if William was indeed teasing the Switch 2 reveal, that would also not be the most legal of actions, as leaking things especially about the Switch.
Yeah, I feel like he for sure is not. I his tweet can't be about the Switch 2 because like if we're gonna talk about NDAs, right? Like he would get in so much more trouble if he leaked the Switch 2 than if he leaked Silksong, right? Like, bro, if you leak Silksong, bro, who the fuck? Like, there's gonna be like 5 people that care, bro. If you leak Switch 2, bro, like, you're done. You're fucking done. Like, you're out of there. It doesn't make sense. He either was trying to send a cryptic message about its actual release date and then they decided like or they were like, oh no, we can't actually release it yet, so we don't want to put the date out there, or he just had this random idea to lead the fan base on for fucking who god knows what reason. And like that's where we're at now. Like he was just trolling for no reason. Like there's no good reason to troll the fan base of a game like this. Like why would you ever think that was a good idea? That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Switch 2 ahead of time is a bit of a problem. Now, teasing it in this very cryptic manner might give them enough.
Yeah, like that's a very obvious like teasing. Like he's teasing something. Like this for sure can't be about the Switch 2. Like this would for sure get you in trouble through an NDA.
Leeway to get away with these things, but that is exactly why they would not then go on record and be like, yeah, we meant the Switch 2, because mentioning the Switch 2 before we know about the Switch 2 would be a bit problematic. So if Silksong is really connected to the April 2nd Direct, then we will see at the latest at that Direct
April
if this
2nd.
is true. And we would then be able to come back to this whole situation and see it in a different light. At the end of the day, it's hard for me to imagine that this was just trolling. But on the other hand, there is very little information that we do have, and we will likely get very little information going forward. And the lack of information is what makes this situation a bit murky.
Yeah.
And even though I personally can
Sure.
only see it
Game
in a
looks
way
cool,
that
though,
this
so far.
was connected to the Switch 2 in some way or another, let's also entertain a different side for a second and put off our tinfoil hats.
Sure. But
Let's assume it really was just a nothing burger, just like Fireball reported. What do we know that could make that all make sense? What else is some important context that we should add here? Well, the original account apparently was not hacked, but it still is William Pellin's shitposting account. And just to exhibit some of the amount of shitposting done on here, here's some of the last few tweets before the whole chaos broke loose, and let me put on some classical non-copyright music.
Before this starts, I really feel like though, if you're the dev of a highly anticipated game, just randomly trolling the fan base 4 years or 5 years after it was like originally supposed to come out, it's like you're asking for you're placing a ticking time bomb on your lap. Like there's no possible way that it would ever end up good, right? Like you can't like just want the community to go up in flames like that, right? Because that's what's going to happen. It's going to make your entire dev team's life just miserable because like it's going to stir everybody up for zero reason, especially if it's not coming out. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not logical in my opinion.
Music for this literary exercise. How to permanently calcify your pineal gland for a good night's rest.
Okay.
2072. The Neocast system delivers us from purgatory.
Sure.
Maillard reaction debunked.
Okay.
Darkfish. An unholy piscine pest. And my favorite one, Bone 18. Unlucky for some. So those were the tweets prior to the one that caused so much chaos. And connecting this to the main topic, the most common interpretation of the events right now is that this was...
I feel like those tweets are like not the same, right? Like those tweets are like very clearly shitpost tweets. Just like that dude's just saying words. Like he's just putting shit out there into the universe. The one about like big things coming or big news coming or whatever it was, like that's a very obvious tease to either the Switch 2 or something with Silksong. Like those are completely different. It went from shit posting to like obvious trolling.
just trolling on William's part, which then got more traction than they would think, and then the marketing guy had to interject and try to keep things from escalating too much. If this really is the whole story of the situation, then this is a straight up bad look on Team Cherry.
I
Don't get
agree.
me wrong, there
Like,
have been parts of the Silksong fandom that have been way too vocal and nosy, always trying to write the devs directly.
yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, you know that your fan base is super rabid about the game. Why would you poke the bear as a dev? Why would you randomly stir up drama around the game for no reason? It makes no sense why you would do that. It's got to be the dumbest mistake, or he was actually teasing the game, right? Like, the trolling thing, I don't know how you go into work that day and you're like, yeah, this is a good idea, let me stir up the entire community for no reason.
And demand an update, or complain in the subreddit about no updates. A place that is probably on fire as we speak by now, but those people
Yeah,
are not the median
I would not want to
Silksong
go
fan.
into that.
The median Silksong fan did,
into that
however,
Reddit.
watch the videos covering the cryptic tweets
Yeah,
and did get their hopes up.
yeah,
Hundreds of thousands of fans
can imagine.
redded up to go on the hype train once again, only for the train to derail 10 minutes
Yep.
after boarding. If trolling truly was the end goal from the start, then, well,
W-
then it is in bad
bad
taste
taste,
in
yeah,
a way.
terrible
Teasing
terrible
big
taste,
news
the
after years
worst.
of silence, only for them
Yep.
to pull the rug a day later, comes across as cruel, even if
Yep.
the intention probably was a different one.
Like, it's
And
just
that the
it's just
PR guy
shitty. It's
first
like
reaching out to
shitty. It's
Fireborn
just
instead
shitty
of talking to
devs
us
if that's the
directly
case.
does actually make sense though. Fireborn is the biggest guy who covered everything, so Fire would also be able to spread the new info the quickest and furthest as
yeah.
well. He would be able to spread it like fire.
Wildfire.
But even though Left then commented on the situation after being asked directly on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, the comments under that tweet showed a very mixed to negative reactions from fans about the whole situation.
Disastrous communication, really. I love Team Cherry and I will wait for as long as they need, but the fans deserve more than mere crumbs of information after 2.5 years since the last trailer. A proper blog post, even a small one, would be nice. Agree. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, you have this big drama come out and then all you say is like, oh yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, bro, so is Ashes of Creation, but that shit's gonna be dog shit when it comes out. Like, you can't convince me that a game that's been delayed that many times will ever be good when it comes out. Like, there's a reason that it's getting delayed. Like, it's not going to come out what we think it's going to be. Like, I just don't understand. Like, if that's all you have to say after this long is we're working on it, and like you have devs trolling the fan base, like, y'all are lost. Like, it's done. It's wrap it up.
And after carefully taking a glance at the Silksong subreddit, yeah, it's very much on fire.
Yeah,
And
I
as
would
someone who
not
has
go
been
in there.
part of this fandom for 7 years now, this whole situation does feel messy. So was it all a coincidence, or are Team Cherry under an NDA that they got close to breaking? We don't know. It
maybe.
could even be something
I
else
don't know.
entirely. Again, this is the purest of
That
speculation.
guy knew what he was
and I
doing, no
don't
matter
want it
what.
to be
Even if he was teasing it, he knew what he was doing teasing it. Like, he knew the reaction it would get. Like, there's no way that you don't. You know your fan base.
treated as anything else than that. And that is why this whole situation is a bit too murky for me to make final judgments. I think something that would ease the current situation is if Team Cherry themselves chose to speak a few words about it.
I
The
agree.
situation
That's
we
always the
assume to
good.
be correct right now is the
Wow, imagine communicating being the solution, communicating being the solution to drama. What? Yeah, bro. Imagine fucking that, dude. But no dev ever communicates to their community. It's insane.
full story, then the only way to not lose too much goodwill is to come out and properly say something.
Yep.
Because even with the communication through Fireborn and the tweet from Left, the whole situation again has left a bitter taste in the mouths
cool.
of some people.
Ooh,
So what
she
I
knocked it
think
back.
would be best if William or Team Cherry came out saying something like, hey, we're sorry about any inconvenience we may have caused, we meant to do no harm.
Sorry
We
for
will share some
our
news soon, stay tuned.
dumbass
I know
dev
that they
that
have
wanted to say
reserved
some
their
shit.
Twitter for very important updates, and that those words necessarily wouldn't be anything new or anything
Yeah.
we don't expect. But
Yeah.
honestly, I think people would be very happy if Team Cherry themselves just talked.
I
for
agree.
once.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
what's the time frame in
Silence.
which I could
If you're gonna be silent, you have to also be okay with people creating whatever reality they want to in their mind, right? Like silence only breeds, speculation.
Could expect a response or some kind of update. Well, I would wait until February at least, with the anniversary of Hollow Knight and the anniversary of the Silksong.
And I think that if you don't actually have anything, like if your game is not, if you have nothing to show for your game in the last 2.5 years since your last trailer, like I think that you just still should come out and be like, hey guys, like we're working on the game. We don't have anything new to show, but like we're sorry for, stirring everybody up, and we're sorry that this dev, released those tweets and it got everybody worked up. Like that wasn't our intention type of thing. I for sure think that like quells the fire a little bit.
Announcement coming up on the 24th and 14th, respectively, and then maybe also wait till after April 2nd,
Wait, this is such a
just
cool
in
place.
case.
So is this jump.
I don't necessarily expect communication though,
Yeah.
and if you don't get any
I
type
doubt
of
we will.
communication by Team Cherry by then the situation, to put it lightly, did not get any better, and the
No.
community will probably have drawn its own conclusions from it.
Yep.
And while I normally don't count or discount any chickens before they even hatched, this whole situation, if nothing else happens from now on, was not a good time to be a fan of Silksong. Normally, I would see why they wouldn't talk, but it has been years, and it has been a very non-pretty situation overall, and it needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Unless they can't, due to, for example,
NDAs,
or other things.
I feel like there's no NDA that's prohibiting them to coming out and just apologizing for the dude's tweets. Like the dude made a mistake by tweeting that. Like just come out and be like, hey guys, we're working on the game, there's nothing new to show, but like we're sorry for this guy, like this fucking dude that just decided to stir everybody up 2.5 years later. Like we know that y'all are chomping at the bit for information, but we don't really have any. But like this dude, bro, we all feel the same way about this guy because what the fuck was he thinking?
We do not know about. So again, not discounting my unhatched
These
chickens
zones
here.
look really cool
I am
too.
waiting
These
till
zones look
April.
really
Maybe I will return to this situation then.
cool.
Also, one more thing. At the end of the day, they do not owe us as fans anything. And we can't demand communication. But just like they don't owe us anything,
Yeah.
you also don't owe them your loyalty.
Right.
If this situation left a bitter taste in your mouth, that is valid.
Right.
If the situation doesn't faze you at all, that is valid as well. YouTubers such as me always tend to subconsciously tell people what they should think through their own opinion essay videos like this
Yeah,
one, be it on purpose or not. So I just wanted to tell you that you're your own people and that you can think for yourself and come to your own conclusions. Like
Yep.
as a community, we do not have to have one way of seeing
Agree.
things.
Agree.
Again, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. I just suggest
I really think though, like what he said, like they don't owe us an explanation and we don't owe them our loyalty. Like that's 100% true, but like, like I said earlier, like communication is key in these types of like relationships with like a consumer and a creator. And I think that if they want their game to succeed and keep goodwill with their fan base, they should at least say something about the situation. Like going silent and ignoring it, I'm pretty sure it's probably, I don't know if it's the worst thing they could do, but it's probably close to it because I think it just festers. I think the frustration festers and it boils over and it makes it just really bad situation. I think that you should at least say something and apologize for the situation being created in the first place, and then you can go back to being silent after that and creating your game, right? But like I think leaving everybody on red how they're doing is not really, it's not smart, right? Like we've seen it all the time. We see it all the time in games where studios and developers do this, where they just ignore their fan base and it just never actually works out. So I think that it would be very smart, in my opinion, to reach out and say something along the lines of like, we're sorry for the cryptic tweet or whatever, and getting everybody riled up. but they probably won't, unfortunately. I hope that on April 2nd they actually do just drop the announcement that it's coming out. That would be super hype, and everybody would be looking like Dumbo. But probably not. That was pretty good. It was kind of not as big as I thought it was, but it was just like a silly mistake. I think like it was either super good PR or like the silliest of mistakes from that dev. But if you like the React content, you can like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time.